Well, I need to tell you a story, and you can comment below as to what you would have done if this had happened to you. Let me tell you what happened. I went to the store, started to get in on this side of my truck, opened the door, and there was a snake right there. And as I'm getting in, I didn't see him till I got 1 foot in, and then I saw him, and I kicked at, because he started trying to get in the truck, and I kicked at him, and then I thought, boy, you may not want to kick at a snake. So I came over here on the outside. Let me show you let me take the camera out the outside. Let me show you what I did on the outside. So I'm on the outside of the truck, and I could see him right here. And the only thing I had was an umbrella. So I came in here and I was trying to drag him out. You know, I was gonna drag him out. And he started fighting with me a little bit, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. He went this way and was gone. And I said, oh my gosh, what has happened now? So I ran back in here and looked. He had come down here, is all I could see when I was standing outside. He had come back down in here. So I looked under the running board there, he wasn't there, and I couldn't see him. And it was like a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds had elapsed since I saw him there, and I didn't see him anymore. When I rounded the door to look, I didn't see him. What in the world? So I started looking under the seat, you know, with my head not quite as far under there because I didn't want to get my nose bit, and I still couldn't see him. So I went in the store. I said, do y'all have any kind of a mirror, maybe, a mirror on a stick, or any kind of a mirror that I could put up there and see if he's up in the dashboard? And they did not have anything. So anyway, I didn't know what to do. I got in the truck and I started driving home. Well, as I'm driving home, I went to there's an auto shop place there where I take my car from time to time, sells tires, works on cars. I said, well, they're going to have a mirror on a stick, because surely they reach up in there to look at stuff, you know, reach into motors and crevices and stuff, and need a mirror for that. They did not have a mirror. Anyway, he came out with a flashlight. I told him, I said, I have a unique situation right now, and that is that I think I got a snake in my truck. At this point, I did not know whether or not I had a snake, okay? I just thought. I didn't know where else he was. He wasn't under the truck. He wasn't under the running board. He wasn't here, and the door was open. Well, he said, come here and look. And he shined way up in there, and he said, there he is, and I could see him. So at that point, I knew I had a snake in the truck. All right, now what to do? So at that point, he was, probably right up behind the cup holder thing here, right up in here. And so he came out with some compressed air, some really hard, really high pressure air, and squirted on him. I was over here. I was going to try to, he gave me some big pliers, and I was going to try to grab him, and had on some leather gloves and such. And he sprayed some brake cleaner or something on him, and all it did was drive him up. And he was up in here at that, somewhere up below the dash. Just, I don't know where he went. We couldn't even see him anymore. We knew he was up in there. He didn't come out, but I didn't see him anymore. So good gosh, what do I do now? So here's where it gets funny, but at the time was not funny at all. Let me tell you what I did. So at this point, I've got to decide whether I'm gonna drive home, call AAA, and tell them what? I got a snake in the truck? What are they gonna do about that? They're not gonna do nothing about it. And you know, I'm a guy. I'm not supposed to call animal control. I'm not just a guy. I'm a farmer. I'm a homesteader. I'm supposed to take care of stuff, my own self. So I get in the truck, knowing there's a snake somewhere up in here. I put on my emergency flashers. I did not buckle my seatbelt, which I always do. And I'm driving through a little city that will nail you for going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. So you always buckle your seatbelt and you always stop at the stop sign. So I'm driving through this little town, no seatbelt, emergency flashers on. I turned on my air conditioning, but I turned it on the floor where it would blow, where the cold air would be low, and maybe cold would make him a little bit more lethargic, something like that. So I got that in my mind, and I did that. So anyway, I'm driving home, but I don't really want to put my foot down here to do the gas and the brake, because if he comes out that thing, he is just inches away from my foot. So here's what I did. I got my umbrella. I pulled my feet up as high as I could get them, and I did the brake and the gas with the umbrella. About 10 miles home. And with emergency flashers, I'm going 55 miles an hour, or 50, whatever, because I want to get home before he gets an idea to get out of here. So I am sweating. It's hot anyway. This happened 2-3 weeks ago. My adrenaline is up. I'm sweating bullets. I've got the air conditioner blowing on the floor, not on me. I'm not that scared of snakes if I see them first, but if they see me first, then, and they got, they startle me, then I'm a little scared of them. And well, if he popped his head out down there, that was going to scare snot out of me. So I'm just driving home like this. Feet up in there, it look like I'm in a gynecological something, and I am doing brake. Now all this time I'm looking up at the road. It's a fairly curvy road home. I'm looking up at the road. I'm looking down at the gas, because I have to work the gas and the brake with this, and I'm also looking at the floorboard, all the way across the floorboard, and I put my steering wheel up as high as it would go, so I had a better vision of what was going on over here. So I'm driving up here with a steering wheel high like this all the way home. I think you can understand why I didn't get this on film at the time. So let me tell you what I did when I got home. So when I got home, and as I was saying, it's very hot. It's 95, 98 degrees. I parked the truck right there in the sun. I left the doors cracked open. I wanted him to be able to get out if he wanted out. And I left it in the sun because I didn't think when that truck got up to 120, 130 degrees inside, he was going to want to stay in there. So I left it out in the sun for about 4 days. I, again, left the doors cracked a little bit, and I sprinkled a bunch of powder. I've got something called Snake Stop or Snake Be Gone, and I just powdered this whole thing with that stuff. It smells kind of like cloves or something like that, and I just powdered the whole thing with that. And my thinking was, if that stuff works, then it was going to drive him out also. The heat and the Snake Be Gone was going to drive that little booger out of here, I hoped. Anyway, it was about a week or two before I actually drove the truck, but I've driven it a few times since then, and I'm sure my little buddy is no longer here. But when I do drive the truck now, I take a pair of lopping shears with me. That is my preferred snake getter right there. It's got handles on it about 2 feet long, keeps you away from the snake, and you can just open it up and grab him pretty good. So these stay in the truck. I'm sure he is no longer here. Oh, good. Oh, that's not him. Did I scare you? That's a steering wheel cover. But every time I open the door and see it, I think it's a snake. It was on my steering wheel, I took it off. Anyway. Oh my goodness. That was fun. Anyway, what would you do? What would you do if you knew there was a snake in your vehicle? Are you man enough to drive home? Are you tough enough to drive home? Not man enough, woman enough, whatever. Or would you have parked it and told the car lot to come get it? You want to trade up. So I could have died from snake bite. I could have died from car wreck. Could have died from heart attack. I could have died. But I didn't. I'm here. And we'll keep making videos. All right. That's it. We're gone.